Retail sales numbers for January whiffed, sliding nearly 1%. Although there's a lot going on, storms here, fires out west. And if you think that might be good news for the deep discounters, think again. Your next guest channel checks revealing some big pricing problems. Get this, he found and his team found that prices at Walmart beat those at the big dollar store chains, and by a lot. Joining us now to talk about it, Anthony Chukumba, Managing Director at Loop Capital. And Anthony, what's interesting, I know, listen, they're always fighting over who's got the lowest prices, blah, blah, blah. I think of the Dollar Generals of the world as sort of being the cheapest of the cheap, but you found they're not.
That is correct. And look, to be clear, the dollar stores don't have to be at price parity with Walmart. They don't have to be lower priced than Walmart because they are more convenient, right? These are much smaller stores that are right in your neighborhood, but they can't be seen by consumers as essentially ripping folks off, particularly given the fact that Walmart has really kind of upped their game. And so we were concerned. I mean, we saw for the third time in our last 4 pricing studies that the price gap between Dollar General and Walmart widened. And for Family Dollar, it was the 4th consecutive time. So we were concerned, particularly given the fact that in both cases, the price differentials were above our long-term historical averages. We've been doing this here at Loop Capital Markets for about 8 years.
What does that tell you? Because it is rather surprising.
So what it told me was that Walmart is getting aggressive in lowering prices. And we pointed this out in the pricing study. We saw price rollbacks at Walmart on a number of items. And that is concerning. That is concerning.
Yeah. And you know, so these dollar stores, they do tend to be a little more rural. Is that a fair statement? Walmart's rural, too. But I mean, the dollar stores, as I've seen them, tend to be kind of out by themselves. Does that moat, if you will, give them a little more pricing power because they're not all stacked next door to a Walmart?
Well, I think you're referring more to Dollar General. Dollar General definitely has more sort of rural stores, particularly relative to Family Dollar. But let's be clear. I mean, in a lot of cases, these stores do overlap with a Walmart. Now, if you're nowhere close to a Walmart, if you're in a food desert, then yeah, maybe you don't have to be as competitive on price. But, I would say the vast majority of these stores, particularly for Family Dollar, a little bit more so than Dollar General, but they are competing with that Walmart. And like I said, if they're competitively priced, then they can win that fight. But if they're not, and Walmart, like I said, is just getting much better in terms of store level execution, in terms of click and collect, in terms of what they're doing online, that's a problem.
I got friends and family that have dealt with Walmart or currently deal with them. They go down to Bentonville and they pay homage to the retail and they just get the crap beat out of them because Walmart is so tough on pricing. Is Walmart, Anthony, the best run retailer in the world right now?
If they're not, they're certainly up there. I mean, it's tough. I mean, they've got so much scale. And, look, to be clear, like if we were having this conversation a few years ago, it would have been a different conversation because to some extent, they were really kind of figuring out how they were going to deal with Amazon. And it seems like they've kind of cracked the code, right? They bought Jet.com and they've shut it down, but they've infused a lot of the learnings and they've gotten really, really good on click and collect. Now they're a third party marketplace as well.
Yeah.
They're really hitting on all cylinders.